Welcome back. We just worked hard to convert a base adapter to a recycler adapter, but it doesn't look much different, right? We put in a lot of effort to try to make things faster, and indeed they are. It's certainly the right thing, but it just doesn't look any different yet. The good news is that the hard work is done, right? To get some of the visual effects now with a recycler view are going to be very, very easy. So we'll learn about a couple different things here. Just simple animations, grid layout managers, and then a preview of card views. So we're not going to do a whole lot of coding right here together. We're going to try to keep things short, but I want to lead you in a couple directions of things that you can do on your own. So first thing are the animations. Really, really easy to get default animations on these. And if you look, there's really super easy things to change, and it looks like I highlighted the wrong thing here. What I really wanted to highlight was the next line down. The new thing is that when we add a name to position 0, rather than notifying dataset change, I just want to notify that an item has been inserted at that position, right? And see what that looks like. And ditto for deletion, right? So we'll when we remove something from a specific position, we'll let the adapter know that we removed from that particular position. Really, really easy to do. So let's see where, I just got to find them here. So let's see, where are they? So this is in my name adapter, add name, here it is. Notify, item inserted at a specific position. Remove, notify that an item was removed at a specific position, and rerun. Okay, so it came back up here in the emulator, so let's go ahead and add a name. We can see it scroll in from the top, so that's pretty nice. And let's remove names, so we can see removing it here. Let's see. Ooh, it removed it from, it's animating from the top. That's messed up. Right, of course. I don't want to say that it removes something from position 0. I want to remove it from the specific position. All right, back to the emulator. Okay, we're popped up again here with all boy names this time. Go figure. Randomization. All right, add, and let's see. Let's try to remove. That's better. Okay, that's what we were expecting. So a few different things. Well, first of all, I actually messed up. I never changed the name there, so that's an easy thing to fix. So my app name now is just RecyclerAdapter. But there are a couple other glitches that have to do with some of the numbering here and some other things. So actually, if I continue adding things, watch what's going to happen here. Okay, now I'm adding, and it's add, and it's trying to minimize work. So even though I added something to position 0, that's actually off the screen. So if I'm hanging out somewhere down at the bottom and I add stuff, it doesn't scroll back to that position. If I want that, that's its own separate thing to do. Second, you see some of the numbering is a bit off here. So let's talk about that briefly. So the first thing is, right, as far as glitches, so the numbers are messed up. I will say, yes, they're messed up. There have to be ways to fix this, but honestly, right now, why do we even care what position we're in? So I'll leave that to you to think about as far as what you might want to change in your code to make that happen. I know one thing that would change it pretty easily is if instead of just notifying that a specific item was removed, you go back to the notifying it that the whole data set has changed, and it will refresh the whole thing, and that will give you your number again if that's what you want. There's a trade-off there if you do it that way, of course. The thing with the scrolling is interesting. It's actually not that bad of a fix to make. So if you add to the top and it doesn't reposition, it turns out that the Recycler Views layout manager, right? So this linear layout manager has a scroll to position method, right? So you'll have to think about how you want to do that. So if we think about it, we're sitting in the adapter and we need the layout manager. So how do we do that? We could try to say, well, does the adapter know the layout manager? And the answer, it turns out, is no, right? So I'll give you a little bit of a hint as far as what you'd want to do. So the code is going to look something like this. In your add name, you're going to say, hey, recycler view, give me your layout manager, and then call scroll to position 0 or the top on it. So what we're going to have to do, of course, you'll notice that, that I'm saving it off here as a field, is that the activity is going to have to pass that in when it constructs it. All right, so that's fairly straightforward thing to do, but I'll let you modify your constructor to take in the recycler view as well. All right, and then you can see the scrolling working the way that it should. All right, a couple other things. All right, so if you want an actual UI upgrade, it's just easy to use a card view. So all that you need to do here, it's so easy. I'm not going to go through this right now. Again, just point in the right place. Is in our row view, our XML. What we had at the time was we just had a relative layout. If you take that layout tag and you encase it, embed it within a card view, then it will just work, right? It's really no more than that. Our card views do have one, they do have one property that's nice to change, which is the corner radius. And you can set this in the XML. Was actually easier, so I didn't really use a setter method here at all. I just changed the property within there, and that will tell you sort of how rounded you want it or not. I just had fun giving it a corner radius. What I also did was change the background color to be something other than white. I changed it to a light gray so that the cards would sort of pop off a little bit more. All sorts of details about this stuff. If you just want to go ahead to the developer site. There's what you need there, and there's more details and some other links in the lab to some other sources that I used when I was messing around with things for the first time. So once you've done that, then it's really easy to see one final change here, and that's to change back in main activity to change your linear layout manager to a grid layout manager, right? And I passed in just the context, and then I passed in the 2, and you can probably figure out from the picture here what the 2 is in a grid layout manager. And yeah, you got it right. So it's 2 columns here. Super easy. Like, change one line of code, you get a very different look. So kind of neat. And now is probably the time to mention that there is a third layout manager called a staggered grid layout manager, and it's for when you have multiple columns that have rows of varying widths. Okay, so oops, just grabbing in just want a picture here from someone's Stack Overflow post about it. So this is kind of neat, right? So a recycler view. So we see some of these guys are tall, some of them are short. You can have them span multiple columns, or just take up single columns. Really, really neat stuff going on to play around with, right, in your own time. All right, so let's summarize here and wrap up. So the conversion from base adapter to recycler adapter basically went like this. So get count became get item count. Get view got split up, like we said, into this inner class, the view holder, and then we created it and we bound it. Get item and get item ID no longer needed; those just aren't part of the recycler view framework. And then the on item long click on the list got replaced by just a regular on long click inside the view holder. And that's what we got for this lesson. So come back next time to hear about the lab.